Deer Hunter, fantastic Vietnam film, possibly Christopher Walken's best performance ever given. The Vietnam setting is really just haunting and horrifying, especially during that infamous Russian roulette scene. But yeah, great movie. And up next we have, and I'm gonna get made fun of for this one, okay, Despicable Me. I bought this years ago when I was a child, when I didn't know any better. But yeah, from what I can remember, the first one's fine. I think the first one's totally considered just a fine, decent movie. I think the main reason people despise this franchise is just because the Minions really overstayed their welcome in the years to come. There's even making another prequel movie. Oh boy. But yeah, this one's fine. I don't have any ill will for this one, so, you know, give it a watch or whatever, I guess. You probably won't. You'll probably make fun of me in the comments, which is fine. District 9, Neil Blomkamp's first and easily best film. It starts out as a found footage film about alien immigrants who have come to the planet and are treated horribly until everything goes wrong, which you probably expect from a synopsis like that. What Neil Blomkamp does incredibly well with his movies are the special effects. The aliens to this day look so realistic and so real. I would honestly love for them to make a sequel to this, but I don't think they ever plan on making it, because like the end kind of leaves it open for that. So I don't know if he ever has plans. I don't even know if Neil Blomkamp's even doing anything. I haven't heard his name in quite some time, but yeah, really solid flick. The Dirty Harry Collection. That's my best attempt at a Clint Eastwood impression. Really fun, just awesomely ridiculous and awesome crime detective movies. Clint Eastwood is hamming it up like he's never hammed before, but in the best ways possible. Really good. I think the first one's the best, and it kind of goes down to that point. The last one's called The Deadpool, which, you know, is funny because, you know, Deadpool, right? But, yeah, really fun.
Whoa, we're not just gonna let you walk out of here.
Who's we, sucker?
Smith and Wesson and me.
It's high noon.
Drive. Film students go absolutely nuts over this movie. I actually bought it because I had to watch it for a film class. I think it's fine. The stuff I really like. Ryan Gosling's good. All the performances are good. Albert Brooks actually plays a bad guy in this movie, and he's actually really scary, which is weird because you wouldn't expect Albert Brooks to play a character like that. Those are probably my best positives. Really don't like Carey Mulligan in this movie, though. I think she's really boring. I also read the original script for this class, and the character that she was much more interesting than she was in the movie. But I don't know. To me, it just feels like a hodgepodge of John Wick and Baby Driver, but just not as good as either of those. I know this came out way before, so had I seen this before those movies, maybe my opinion would change. But it's fine. I don't hate it. It's just I don't think it's like a masterpiece, because like film students like fight to the death over this movie of it being like great, and I don't really understand it, but I'm an idiot. What do I know? Elysium, Neil Blomkamp's second best movie. I would say probably as far as the rate of Neil Blomkamp movie goes, his first, District 9, is by far the best. Chappie, which is his most recent, is by far the worst. Oh, so bad.
Gangsta #1.
Boom. Yeah, Chappie, from now on, I'm gonna be your daddy, for real.
You gonna be Chappie's daddy?
And this one's right in the middle. It's really fun action. Got some really fun action sequences. Charlotte Copley is really hammed it up as the villain, which I really enjoy. But yeah, other than that, story's not great. It is kind of preachy, but it's still really fun. Ex Machina. Really fascinating science fiction film. Won the Best of Academy Award for visual effects, and you can see why, because Alicia Vikander's character is so cool to look at. That came out weirder than I intended it to be. Point is, the special effects are really good, but the story is really good as well. Oscar Isaac and Domhnall Gleeson are both fantastic in it as well. Why do I own some of these movies? Why do I have Expendables 3? I don't know. Why am I asking you who can't respond? I don't know. But I don't know. I think I got it because I was so disappointed by it when I first saw it that I wanted to see the unrated edition because they made it PG-13 for God knows what reason. This franchise could have been interesting because it's supposed to be... The whole allure of it is that it's like the Avengers but with action stars. But I can't even give an opinion on it because I don't even remember anything about it. So we're gonna just mosey on along. Mosey on along. That's what I meant to say. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, my favorite John Hughes movie. It takes place in good old Chicago, which I'm not there anymore because it's a big city and probably will get infected pretty soon. I don't know, maybe not, maybe it will, but Ferris Bueller's really good. Matthew Broderick's great in it. It's really funny. First Blood, or Rambo First Blood, or I just call it First Blood because it's called First Blood. I am actually convinced that I might be the only person on the planet who has actually seen the first Rambo film. I worked at a movie theater for the past few months, and we were playing the new Rambo movie, Rambo Last Blood. And I saw the tagline, the synopsis for it, was 30 years after he drew First Blood. When that's not what happens, the whole point of the movie is that he doesn't draw First Blood. I don't want to spoil anything, but it just drives me nuts that this movie is actually a very deep, really serious take on how Vietnam veterans were treated after the war, and not a like he's now known as. But the point is, this is actually a really good movie. It's not a big old dumb action movie, but it's actually just a really good movie. Glengarry Glen Ross, another one of the best written movies ever made. It was originally written as a play, and it does kind of show. But it was just the dialogue alone. It's like every time one of the characters just insults each other, it's like they're being stabbed and like poked and prodded, and it's just so fun to watch. How do you make a movie about real estate guys? How do you make that of them just talking in one setting for most of the time? You make that interesting. You watch Glengarry Glen Ross and you find out.
I've been in this business 15 years.
What's your name?
Fuck you! That's my name!
The Godfather Trilogy, very widely considered to be one of the best film trilogies ever made. Well, that's not true. Godfather 1 and Godfather 2 are considered some of the best movies ever made. Godfather 3 is widely reviled as the absolute worst. It's not horrible, but it's, compared to the other two, it's not even close. But yeah, really, really great performance across the board. Hot take, not a huge Marlon Brando fan, but he's really good in it, and everyone else, Pacino, the whole crew from it is really great.
Dad?
Worst death ever.
The Good, Bad, the Ugly trilogy, or no, that's just the Good, the Bad, the Ugly. I don't think I have the Fistful of Dollars trilogy. But, what do you think of Western films? This is possibly what comes into mind. There's just the Ennio Morricone score is so good alone. The cinematography, the Western feel that it has is so good. It's just such a this movie breeds badass. It's just so badass. It's so good. If you like Westerns, watch it. I feel like I've been repeating that a lot. If you like this, then you should watch this. I'm just the movie boy recommending movies. Goodfellas, the first and my favorite of Scorsese's Bada Bing Bada Boom trilogy. Only one I don't have of that trilogy is The Irishman because it's on Netflix, obviously, so it doesn't make sense to waste money getting it on Blu-ray right now.
You dumb motherfucker!
But yeah, Goodfellas, one of my favorite gangster films. One of my favorite films ever. Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, especially Joe Pesci give fantastic performances. The direction, I love how it takes itself so seriously, but at the same time has so many great moments of levity. The clown scene that's so famous, that was improv, is so good. Really brilliant. The gold standard for gangster movies right here. The Goonies, or as I like to call it, the movie that Stranger Things constantly rips off. It's about kids with potty mouths who go on mystical, magical adventures, and it's great. It's so much fun. This movie was my childhood. It will always be my childhood, and it's just a blast to watch. Even though it's directed by Richard Donner, it has a very Spielberg-y feel to it because he produced it, but yeah, super entertaining 80s flick. Grand Budapest Hotel, possibly my favorite Wes Anderson film. He was a director that I took a while to really appreciate, but now I absolutely love him. A hilarious movie. Ralph Fiennes should have gotten I don't remember if he got nominated for an Oscar or not, but he should have because he is an absolute this is his movie as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, it has Wes Anderson's typical style. No one makes a movie like him. The way he shoots things, the way he directs things, it's just so weird but so fascinating. Not like weird to the point where it's off-putting, but weird to the point where you're just interested. And this is the embodiment of that. I think this could be not only the most Wes Anderson film, but his most approachable one as well.
I knew there was something fishy. We never got the cause of death. She's been murdered. And you think I did it.
Grapes of Wrath, directed by John Ford, who is one of the more interesting directors of history. Back in the day, during the 1930s, you could make, like, he literally made, like, 3 movies a year, many of which are extremely well-known movies, like Stagecoach and The Searcher. Did he do The Searchers? I don't remember. But yeah, this is one of his slower movies. It's definitely a very slow drama, and it was based on the book. I don't remember much about it because I saw it a long time ago, but it was good. So if you like the book. Why did I do that? I also just realized I haven't actually watched this Blu-ray because that's still on there. So maybe I just made everything up. I guess you don't. I've seen it before. I'm kidding. The Great Mouse Detective. One of Disney's more underrated movies, I think. It's basically their take on Sherlock Holmes. The real star of the show, I think, is Vincent Price as the villain, Ratigan. Vincent Price has actually gone on record saying that Ratigan is his all-time favorite performance, which I think is hilarious. But yeah, it's basically Disney Sherlock Holmes. My favorite MCU franchise, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I think I might like Guardians 2 a little bit more, but both of them are awesome. They have their own distinct style. The soundtrack fits everything perfectly. James Gunn had such a good, unique, distinct vision for this, and it totally paid off. I am so happy that they didn't kick him to the curb for Guardians 3 after that whole stupid thing. But yeah, I love these movies to death. They are the epitome of fun comic book movie.
Romantic. Sexual love.
No, I don't.
For her.
No, that is not.
The Harry Potter collection, it includes all 8 films of the mainline Harry Potter series. It doesn't include Fantastic Beasts because the first one's just okay, and the second one is just bad. Again, probably everyone in my age group has seen these movies. They were such a huge cultural phenomenon when they were released. Everyone had to go see them when they came out. And all of them are really pretty good. Not one of them is really awful. I'd say the weakest one might be like Chamber of Secrets or Half-Blood Prince. But they're not bad by any account, I don't think. So, yeah, I would say go watch it, but chances are you've already watched it. Hunt for the Red October, another 4K Blu-ray, and it looks surprisingly really great on 4K. One of the Jack Ryan films that's been... Hollywood's really been trying to make Jack Ryan the American James Bond. It's worked in some respects like this, hasn't in others. But yeah, Sean Connery actually is a pretty convincing Russian submarine man. Really well written, really well directed. It's just a really, really tense drama about submarines and Russians. Yeah. Raiders of the Lost Ark, or Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't have the other ones. I probably should get Last Crusade, because that's the best one. I'll get a Temple of Doom too, because it's fun enough. But then there's Crystal Skull, which I don't want to see ever again. This one's great though. This is awesome. It's so much fun. The special effects are so great. It's got this great swashbuckling adventure vibe. This movie screams adventure, and it's just so good. Harrison Ford whipping people. It's kinky and great.